Hi everyone, welcome to our series on C programming. So in this video, we are going to be discussing on the topic of infinite loop. So first, what is an infinite loop? So an infinite loop is a loop that never stops its execution. That is, there is no ending at all. The loop is going to keep on executing whatever you're asking it to do. So that type of loop is what we call as an infinite loop. So infinite loop scenario can come in any type of loop. That is whether you're writing a while loop or whether you're writing a for loop or a do while loop. So whichever loop we are using, there is a chance that our loop may go into an infinite situation. So in this video, we are going to be discussing on some scenarios which is going to lead to an infinite loop, and we will see how not to make these mistakes when we are writing our programs. Right. So let us look into the first scenario. So have a look at this program. So in this program, what we are using a while loop. So we all know that every while loop is going to be having three parts. One is the initialization, one is the condition, and other one is the iteration. So here, all the three parts of my while loop has been defined properly. So I am saying int a is equal to 1. So this is my initialization. So then I'm saying a less than equal to 10. So my condition is also given here. Then I'm saying a plus plus. So then I have my iteration part also. So all the three parts of my while loop has been defined properly. But look what I have done here. In a while loop, the while statement never ends with a semicolon. Only when we are writing a do while loop. So in a do while loop, the while statement ends with a semicolon. But this is only a while loop. It is not a do while loop. But still, I am using a semicolon here. So you all know that semicolon means statement terminator. So statement terminator means I am telling my compiler that this while loop is ending. This while loop has ended here itself. So the block of statement, this block of statement does not belong to my while loop because the loop has ended. I have put a semicolon here. I have put the terminator here. So this body statements, this statement does not belong to my while loop at all. So this is not the body of my loop, but it is rather an individual block. It is what we call as a nameless block. So now when I run this program, we know line by line execution. So it is going to start with the first line. So where variable a is created with the initial value of 1. Right. Then it comes to the next line where it is going to go into my while loop. So I am saying a less than equal to 10. So what is the value of a? 1. So 1 less than equal to 10. Yes, my condition is true. Right. But now, since the while loop is getting terminated here, this is not my body. So a is never incremented at all. A value is never incremented or decremented. Nothing happens. The iteration part does not happen at all. And the condition is circulating inside this itself. It is not able to move to the next one because you remember, when is a loop going to get terminated? Only when the condition becomes false. When the condition becomes false, only the loop will get terminated. But here, what is the value of a? 1. So 1 is always going to be less than 10. And I am not at all incrementing or decrementing. Nothing is happening to the a. So that is why this program is going to go into an infinite loop. So when I execute this program, it is not going to produce any output at all. It is just going to wait for a couple of minutes, and then you might get a timeout error. Session timeout or a timeout error will be getting it. That is one thing. So whenever you're writing a while loop, please do not put a semicolon at the end of this while condition. Right. Now, coming to the second program. Look at this one. Here, please remember, I just told you, a loop will always keep on getting executed until the given condition is satisfied. That is, until the given condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, the loop will stop its execution. This is the normal procedure how the looping happens. So here, what is that I have given in place of the condition 1. Now, according to our C programming, please remember any number, whether it is a positive number, whether it is a negative number, whether it is a whole number or whether it is a floating point number, as long as the number is not 0, it is always considered as true. Any number. So 1 is also true. I'm saying 10. That's also true. Minus 100. That's also true. 10.50. That is also true. So any number which is not 0. If it is 0, it means it is false. So if it is anything other than 0, it is always considered as true. So here I am saying the condition is true. So since I'm saying the condition is true, it is going to directly go inside. So inside the loop, it is going to print hello. Then the condition is never becoming false. I'm not changing the condition at all. So it is always going to remain as 1. So hence, the loop is always going to remain true. So it is going to go into an infinite. So please remember, in a program, there are situations where you will wantedly create an infinite loop. That is, wantedly you will specify the condition as true. But then it becomes the programmer's responsibility to break out of the loop. So you have to ensure that program is properly getting terminated and it is able to come out of the loop. I hope you remember the previous sessions where we have covered the jump statements. So we can give some particular condition, and if that condition is satisfied, we can use the break keyword and come out of the loop in such scenarios. So this is again a program which is going to go into an infinite loop. Right, same way. Look at this one. Minus 10. As I told you, any non-zero number, again an infinite loop. Look at this one. 10.25. Again a non-zero number. Hence, this program is also going to go into an infinite loop. So that means what? It is going to keep on printing hello, 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 hello. So no ending at all. Right. Now this one. See here what I have given. I have given the character A. Now what will happen? Please remember, this also will go into an infinite loop. Why? Because ASCII value of A. When you are giving a single character like this, it is going to work based on the ASCII value. So ASCII value of capital A, which is 65, again a non-zero number. Hence, it is always going to be considered as true. So it is going to give you the result. Now, all those were your while loop conditions. Now, look at this one here. Here, I'm using a for loop. Now, again, for a for loop, what I have done here, you know the 3 parts of the for loop: initialization, condition testing, iteration. And each and every part is separated by a semicolon here. Now, in the place of condition, again, I am giving a non-zero value. So hence, it is going to go into an infinite loop again. So as I told you, no matter what loop it is, the constraint is going to be the same. So what is the constraint says? Any number which is not 0 is always going to be considered as true. Hence an infinite loop in this scenario also. Right. Now look at the next one. Here what is the problem? Initialization, condition, where is the iteration? Iteration part is missing. So if the iteration part is missing also, it is going to go into an infinite loop. Now why? Look at this. I am saying I is equal to 1. Okay. I am saying I less than equal to 5. That means what? 1 less than equal to 5. Condition at the starting of the loop says it is true. So it is going to come inside. This is the body of my loop. So it is going to come inside. It is going to print hello. After printing hello, there is no iteration. There is no iteration part. So the I value is never incremented. So when it is not going to get incremented, then it is always going to remain as 1. So 1 is always going to be less than 5. Hence an infinite loop. So the program is going to keep on printing hello indefinitely. Right. Now look at this situation. Look at this program here. Again, a scenario of infinite loop. So why is this infinite? Look at the condition. So whenever you are framing a condition, you have to be very careful. When you're going to give conditions like this condition will never become false. Right. This condition is never going to become false. 1 is always going to be less than 2 only. So the scenario will never change at all. So it is going to keep on printing C indefinitely for us again. So these are the mistakes that you should not do when you're going to write your code. Should be very cautious. A small mistake in our looping condition or any missing paths will definitely lead to an infinite loop. Right. Now, this is another scenario of an infinite loop with a for loop. Now, look what is happening. I told you every for loop has 3 conditions: initialization, condition testing, and my iteration. Here I have not mentioned anything. I am declaring the variable, but I have not initialized it with any value. There is no condition. There is no iteration. Nothing is there. Only empty semicolons are there. So what is going to happen in this scenario? Again, it is going to go into an infinite loop. It is going to keep on printing high for us. The reason? Because there is no value specified inside. And remember, when you have only a single executable statement, the curly braces are optional. So this line high, printf high, it belongs to this loop. It is part of the body of the loop. So hence, it is again a program which is going to go into an infinite condition. Right. So as a last scenario, please look at this program. So here, what I have done is initialization. I have kept that part outside of my for condition. So initialization is done outside of my for loop. Condition testing, that is done inside my for loop. Iteration, done inside the body of the loop. So it is possible for us to break the for loop, and write the conditions separately also. So here we have followed that pattern. So initialization, condition, iteration, all the 3 parts are there, but it is not given inside the for loop. 2 parts are given outside and only the condition is given inside. Now, the problem here is this semicolon. So just like what we saw the first example, a while loop ending with a semicolon, the same thing is happening here also. So here, what is the issue? I am saying for loop closing it with a semicolon. That means this loop is over. So this block of statement does not belong to my for loop. So it is going to come as a nameless block. Hence, here the initial value of I is 1. So 1 is less than 5. Condition is satisfied. But since I am having a semicolon, the for loop is getting terminated here itself. So this iteration part, I++, does not belong to my loop. So hence the condition is always going to remain true and it is going to go into an infinite situation. So these are the various conditions when writing our program where it may lead to an infinite loop. So we have to be very careful when we are giving the conditions. Right. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.